You've probably heard that admissions committees evaluate applications holistically. But what does that really mean? They're going to look at your academic preparedness, your work experience, how you've been flexing your leadership skills, your motivation for getting an MBA from their program, your post-MBA goals, and how your presence in their community will enhance the experience for your classmates. If you're not applying for a while, now is the time to focus on becoming the strongest possible applicant. That means making sure you're ready for the academics, building out your work experience, and enhancing your leadership skills. You also want to make sure that in your work and your outside activities, those who are overseeing you would go to bat for you and write really strong recommendations. Today, let's talk about the first area, your academic profile. At top business schools, admissions committees must accept applicants who will succeed and excel in their classroom. They're going to look at a few different factors as they assess your readiness. First, they will look at where you went to undergrad and what you majored in. They will look closely at your transcript to understand how you performed, especially in quantitative coursework. Finally, most schools will look at your standardized test scores. All schools are test agnostic between the GMAT and the GRE, and some schools will even accept the executive assessment or EA without any questions. Many business school applicants say that getting a test score they are at peace with is the most challenging part of the application process. The good news is that you're thinking ahead. I encourage you to get the test behind you as soon as possible. Test scores are good for 5 years, so even if you're 2 or 3 years out from applying to business school, now is a great time to start preparing for a standardized test. Starting early takes the pressure off and allows you to focus and perform on test day. You don't want to start test preparation a few months before your applications are due and feel like the stakes are high and the timing is urgent. I suggest taking a diagnostic test of both the GMAT and the GRE to determine which of these 2 exams suit you best. You want to commit to the test on which you will perform best, meaning you will have the highest percentile scores in all of the subsections. Once you determine which suits you best, make a plan and start your preparation. Keep in mind previous experience preparing for a standardized test. Can you confidently study on your own, or do you need to take a class so you can be accountable to someone else? Do you learn best if you have a tutor who can help you identify your weaknesses and provide strategies and tactics? Everyone is different, and your plan may change over time. If you need some guidance as you navigate test prep, reach out to our friends at GMAT Ninja, or check out their vast YouTube resources. Because admissions officers accept your highest score, you should plan to take the GMAT or GRE at least 3 times. Ideally, you want to achieve scores that are at or above the averages of the programs you're targeting. At a minimum, you want to be within the 80% range of the test scores, which most programs publish on their websites. If you get a score that you're at peace with on your first or second exam attempt, fantastic. Keep in mind that there's no shame in taking the test multiple times. Now let's discuss the more traditional concept of academic preparedness, your undergrad performance. At this point, your undergrad experience is likely complete and there's nothing you can do to change it. If you had a less than stellar undergrad GPA, meaning a 3.3 or below on a 4.0 scale, now is the time to show that you are a different student than you were in college. While there's nothing you can do to change your undergrad GPA, the magic is in redirecting the AdCom's attention away from your less than stellar undergrad performance to a more recent data point that demonstrates your ability to perform today. Enroll in an online pre-MBA math class like UC Berkeley's Math for Management or UCLA's Mathematical Solutions for Business. Both of these classes cover basics of all the quantitative subjects that you will be presented with in business school. Importantly, they will issue a transcript with a letter grade that you can submit with your applications. Make sure to get an A to demonstrate your ability to excel and show that you're a different student now than you were as an 18 or 19-year-old. If you had strong grades during undergrad but didn't take quantitative courses like math, economics, or engineering, and aren't using your analytical skills regularly at work, you should strongly consider taking a class to introduce you to the basics or refresh your memory on the quantitative subjects that are being covered in an MBA. MBA Math is a reasonably priced, self-paced online course that checks the box for precisely this. You can typically work through both the pre-tests and post-tests in 20 hours or so. Since MBA Math was created by business school professors, most admissions committees recognize it as a solid starting point for being able to hit the ground running in core quantitative classes. Don't worry if your pre-test scores are dismal. Just make sure that you are getting close to 100% on the post-test. If English is not your native language, or if you are not living and working in a geography where you are using English on a regular basis, you may want to commit to improving your English language skills. I've seen otherwise strong applicants fall short because they were not adequately prepared to be able to engage in real time in English in order to be able to participate in classroom conversations or on group projects. Some schools have eliminated a test of English as a foreign language and replaced that with video essays to assess an applicant's ability to respond in real time in English. If you need to refresh your English skills, consider hiring an English language tutor or joining an English language discussion group. You want to be using your English every day, so you develop confidence in your ability to engage with others. Now that you better understand how to bolster your academic profile, what else should you be working on in the years leading up to your business school applications? In the next video, we'll talk about making the most of your work experience.